this little cheery fellow? It's the 2015 Mazda 3. And if you haven't considered it yet, you might want to now. You see, this car, fully loaded, is about $26,000, but what it can do is pretty amazing. Under the hood is Mazda's SkyActiv-G motor. It's good for 184 horsepower, 185 pound-feet of torque. But best of all is the mileage. This thing gets 37 miles to the gallon on the freeway, 25 around town, all without the need of a fancy and expensive hybrid system. You see, the SkyActiv-G was a clean sheet design a few years ago. Basically, Mazda took everything they knew about engines and they built an all-new one. Whereas many other engines on the market today, they've just been adapted over time. So that allows Mazda to get ultimate performance and ultimate economy in one low-priced car. We're going to take a look at it, starting with the back seats. Hey, you know what? That's a lot of room. And that seat's not even all the way forward. Nice. Pop the trunk, and there's actually quite a lot of room back there. Need more, and you can put the seats down with a 60-40 split. So you can fill it with whatever you want. The model we're driving today is the S Grand Touring. It has pretty much every single option, except for one. It doesn't have an automatic transmission. That's right, this car, it's got a 6-speed manual, and it's a good one. This is, of course, the inside of the 2015 Mazda 3 S Grand Touring. Now, because this is the Grand Touring model, it is fully loaded, and you get quite a lot for the price of about $25,000. First, let's check out the dash, because we don't need to turn the car on for that. Really nice textures, materials, that soft touch there, that's a harder plastic there. Love the metal surrounds. They're everywhere, and they add such nice elegance to this car. You got nice brushed metal work there. And then this leather on the steering wheel is also really nice. It's like a nicely oiled leather with a contrast stitching on the inside. This is a car with a red exterior, and it has red stitching right here. Really, really nice. Oh, and there's more of the red stitching along the seat backs as well. Very nice Mazda, very sporty, looks great. There's so much with this car, I don't know where to begin, so I'm just gonna hit the start button. Oh, hey, look at that. It's got the heads-up display. That's pretty cool. So Mazda's big thing has always been a zoom mentality. What that means is that all the executives, they race on the weekends. Seriously, these guys will run IMSA racers, they run MX-5 Cup cars, they run 24 Hours of Lemons, which is a inexpensive race series that runs throughout the US here, using $500 cars. These guys, they will do anything they can to get behind the wheel and race. And that shows up in their products. Things like the lovely leather-wrapped steering wheel with the race-inspired contrast stitching. These are all inspired by race cars. That is also why they have the tach is the biggest gauge in this car. The speedo is this little thing down in the corner because honestly, when you're racing, you care about your tach, not your speedo. That is the influence, and that is what Zoom is all about. We have to start with the nav system because this was all new last year, and it's really cool. I love it because it is so unique, but it is so clear, and it's just an exceptional system. Now, they've taken a cue from Audi and BMW and put the controls down here. We have a big dial that we can move, and we have a few buttons for shortcuts. First, we'll start with the navigation. Let's look for a point of interest nearby, shall we? So let's go ahead and filter by name. So I can either twist or use it like a joystick. S-T-A-R-B-U. C-K-S. Okay, and say go. So we'll search nearby, Boom, Starbucks. There we go. Hit go, and we're on our way. Now, I also have to say, this little dial feels amazing. It's like a solid piece of metal that's been milled, and it just has a really nice, expensive touch to it. And that is kind of, I think, one of the key things that you'll note in this car. I mean, this car starts under $20,000, and you get touch points that just feel like a way more expensive car. I mean, all these little dials, these are actual like metal. These aren't plastic. That's really cool. That's good. These buttons feel great. Oh, hey, look at that. There's heated seats right there. Let's turn the heated seat on. It's also kind of neat how this is just kind of attached in there as though it's removable, but it's not. That is just the way it looks. I think it's kind of clever. It really helps it break up the dash from being this big monolithic thing. Now let's move on to the seats. These are leather buckets, feel very nice, quite comfy, and that seat warmer, I can actually already feel it pretty good. Up here, there's one more little screen. It's on the right. You don't really get much as far as customization goes, but it will give you the temperature, the current MPGs, and your fuel level. On the left wing, we get the current gear that is selected, and it gives a recommendation for what gear we should go into next. So this, of course, has the 6-speed manual transmission. When the Mazda 3 first launched last year, you couldn't get the larger 2.5 engine with a manual. Well, now it's finally out. The new enthusiasts wanted it, but they didn't have the engineering done to make it right. So now you can get it, and we're going to take it for a drive. So we'll go ahead and pop it into first, and away we go. Okay, so we're at a stoplight. We have a manual transmission, 2.5 liters of Fury. Let's hit it. Whoa! Wow, that's got a little bit of pull. Now, it does have traction control, so it did eventually kick that in. But again, it goes back to the zoom zoom mentality of the Mazda engineers. They let the front wheels spin just a little bit to let me know that the wheels were spinning. It didn't shut it down before the first little tweet of the wheel. I love that. I mean, that is what a driver wants to know. You want to know what's going on with your tires. You just don't want to get in over your head. Allowing a little bit of wheel spin is great for that reason, in that reason alone. And I wish more cars would do that. Oh, true to Mazda, this transmission just feels amazing. This is a driver's commuter car. This is a car that you can drive not just because you have to, you drive this car because you want to. It gives back to the driver so much in terms of feel and experience. It's really great. The fact that I can get all this and have excellent economy, it's a win-win. To me, this car is almost the default question to which compact car should I get? Well, I think you should get the Mazda 3. Well, I haven't told you what I want to do. Well, we'll start with that part of the conversation and we'll move on from there, because this car, it offers so much. And then there's the topic of active safety technology. Well, what's active safety? Well, those are items that prevent you from getting into an accident in the first place. Passive safety would be like airbags. When it's too late, you're going to try to save yourself. That is passive. So for active safety, this car employs a number of great tools. For one, you have a blind spot identification system with little lights on each side to let me know if somebody is in my blind spot. And then secondly, there is the rear view camera. And then thirdly, there is cross traffic alert. If I'm in a parking spot that I can't see out the sides, the radars on the tail of the car will look to the sides for me and notify me if a car is coming. It is really useful when parking in small spaces, especially in the land of SUVs. And that's my look at the 2015 Mazda 3. It is a heck of a lot of car, especially if you look at the fully loaded Grand Touring model that provides excellent driver feedback and all the amenities you could ever really want. I'm Ryan Douthit for AutoNation. Thanks for watching.